Not gonna say anything new here, but this poster is definitely perfect for a Stan Lee biopic. Welcome my beautiful geekies to my review for The Infiltrator, which is a movie based on a true story directed by Brad Furman, written by Ellen Sue Brown, and starring Bryan Cranston, John Leguizamo, Benjamin Bratt, and Diane Kruger. This movie tells the story of a US Customs official played by Bryan Cranston who finds out about this money laundering scheme being played by the cartel and therefore Pablo Escobar in the 80s, and so he infiltrates himself to try and take them down and try to uncover this plan of theirs. I was interested in this movie mainly because it is set in the 80s, it is based on a true story, and of course Bryan Cranston is the main star, and I tell you, he is the heart and soul of this movie. He is very, very good. What a great performance. The guy makes for an interesting character, a likable protagonist, a man who you understand what he is going through. They show you what he's dealing with on both sides, in his job, in his personal life, and you understand all those layers of what is going on around him and how he feels because of that situation and what those situations bring on and make him suffer for in his personal life. There are so many layers to what this character goes through that it makes him for a real compelling main character, and Bryan Cranston helps with making him that compelling and likable. Diane Kruger plays his pretend fiancée as they are infiltrated in the cartel, and she's also very good. I wish I could have seen a little bit more of her, but you understand that these two people have never met each other. They're actually just meeting as they're doing this mission, this job. And as you see them involved with other people and getting to know other people inside the cartel that are involved with Pablo Escobar, and you see them hanging out with other couples and trying to pretend to be a couple, and you can really see how this job could put you between a rock and a hard place, trying to decide if you really want to hurt these people, send them to jail, because you can actually start to feel that you're friends with them in a natural sense. But right then and there, that's where the good things about this movie end, because it is a really boring movie, and I don't mean that I want a big action scene or I want some action, something exploding in my movie, some shootouts. I just want something to actually happen. Throughout this movie, as you see Bryan Cranston, Diane Kruger going on their missions, find out about this and that, getting to know this and that person, nothing really happens. They are just people asking other people how they're going to do this or that, what is going on here or there, and they're just asking and getting answers and answers. So basically this movie feels like people telling you a lot of things that are happening around them and how they should work into getting them into this or that situation, this or that predicament. It feels really boring, and it feels really like people just talking to you, telling you what will happen and what is happening and what that will cause, and not actually showing you those things going down. Never really makes for an interesting, compelling narrative, except for the individual characters and the relationships that they create. John Leguizamo was good as the partner of Bryan Cranston, but he could really have been taken out of the movie and nothing would have really been lost, and would make up for some time to actually show us things really happening, because everything this movie does and shows you of people telling each other and speaking all the time, it's actually important for you to understand, but then there's just really no room to breathe, and it's always you getting fed all this information that you need to assimilate to actually know that these things are happening. It actually feels like a documentary where people are just telling you what will happen and what is happening instead of what happened before, therefore making it a documentary. I will say the lens is actually pretty good, that they use this to make it feel and look like it was the 80s, but sometimes it actually makes you forget that you are in the 80s, because sometimes they take out those lenses and film it in a completely different sense. I like the framing and everything, but the colors just really contrast with each other, because the feeling that this is in the 80s, it's not always there. And there are some ridiculous characters in here that end up doing nothing and mattering nothing to this particular story. Brad Furman is a guy who has an uneven track record. He directed Runner, which I enjoyed watching, but it's really not that good of a movie, and The Lincoln Lawyer, which started a reconnaissance, is a very good one. But they have similar problems just like The Infiltrator has. I will say this, The Infiltrator is a movie that you could watch and you might enjoy if you like just knowing what happens in these true stories, because if you go and research, this movie was actually pretty faithful to what happened, but the thing is that nothing really ever happened. And actually the trailers show quite a good part of the finale of this movie, which when actually something does kind of happen. It's great for the performances and the focus of the story. The movie doesn't deviate from what it's telling you, just really feels hollow by the end. It doesn't really seem like it matters. And that's my main problem with this. I like the performances and everything, but I will never watch this movie again. And it is quite a little bit too long, so unfortunately I will have to say that The Infiltrator gets a Clark Gable. What did you think of The Infiltrator, my beautiful geekies? Did you like it? Did you not? What is your favorite movie by Bryan Cranston? And do you think he'd make a good Stan Lee in a biopic a few years from now? Not counting that 70s action hero Stan Lee that we're getting in a few years from now. Let me know all of that in the comments below. And speaking of Stan Lee, let me know your questions for the Doctor Strange Q&A. Just hashtag DocStrangeQ&A and ask me any questions you want about anything you want in the comments, and you know you might win something on that giveaway. If you enjoyed this review and enjoyed talking about Bryan Cranston, don't forget to like this video, and if you are not a part of the beautiful geeky community that we have right here, subscribe and join us so we can be geeky united! My beautiful geekies, thank you so much for watching. You guys are the best. We are growing so fast. I can't thank you enough. I love you guys so much. Stay beautiful, stay geeky. Shit!